Hey everyone, welcome back to Unbelievable Universe. Today we're diving into a question that's equal parts hilarious and bizarre, but also surprisingly scientific. What happens when an astronaut farts in space? You might think this is just a silly, embarrassing detail from astronaut life. But believe it or not, this topic touches on everything from engineering and biology to team dynamics and even space safety. Ready for a journey that's as weird as it is fascinating? Buckle up, because we're about to get into the cosmic side of breaking wind. 1. Farting on Earth versus farting in space. What's the difference? Let's start with the basics. Out on Earth, passing gas is a fact of life. You let it out, and gravity and ventilation quickly whisk the evidence away. Maybe your friends glare at you, maybe you blame the dog, and life goes on. But in space, it's a whole different world. Astronauts live in a sealed environment. Think of the International Space Station as a giant high-tech tin can. Every breath, every scent, every molecule is trapped inside, and all the air is recycled through sophisticated ventilation systems. So when someone lets one rip, it doesn't just vanish. It floats around, mingling with the shared air. In zero gravity, there's no up for gas to drift toward, no floor for it to settle on. Instead, that little cloud of impersonality just hangs around, slowly spreading out until the air filters catch up with it. In short, in space, your fart is everyone's fart. 2. Real-life tales from space. Awkward moments and floating fumes. You're probably wondering, do astronauts ever talk about this? Yes, it's actually a common inside joke among crews. Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield once joked in an interview about how, on the ISS, the air circulates pretty quickly. But sometimes you still know who's been creative. Imagine working on an experiment while a silent, invisible cloud of someone's lunch choices drifts by your face. But here's the real kicker. In microgravity, farts don't just drift away. They form little bubbles or clouds around your body. There's no gravity to pull them down or away. That means if you let one go, you might find yourself literally surrounded by your own scent until the fans sweep it away. Imagine being wrapped in your own fart bubble now. That's motivation to be considerate. Astronauts have even joked about ranking each other's contributions, or playfully blaming the Russian module for mysterious smells. It's all part of living together in a small recycled bubble hundreds of kilometers above Earth. 3. The physics of a fart. Can it move you in space? Now here's a question for the physics nerds. If you fart in space, does it actually push you forward? On Earth, the effect is negligible, but in microgravity, Newton's third lev reaction has an equal and opposite reaction still applies. If you release gas with force, it creates a tiny amount of thrust. Let's do a thought experiment. Imagine you're floating freely in your suit, and you let out a powerful fart. Would you drift away? Technically yes, but the force is minuscule. One fart might move you about a millimeter, if that. You'd need a diet of nothing but beans and a lot of patience to get anywhere. Still, this principle is real. In fact, some early space missions considered whether astronauts' movements, including sneezing and farting, could affect delicate maneuvers. Thankfully, modern navigation systems don't rely on flatulence-powered propulsion. 4. The hidden hazards. Farts as a safety concern. Okay, let's get serious for a second. Is farting in space actually dangerous? Surprisingly, yes, it can be. Farts contain gases like methane and hydrogen, which are flammable. It's in a sealed environment like the ISS. If these gases build up, they could, in theory, pose a fire risk.
I see.
The amount from one fart is tiny, but with 6 astronauts and months in orbit, it adds up. That's why the ISS has powerful air filters and chemical scrubbers to remove not just carbon dioxide, but also trace gases, including the byproducts of human digestion. There's another risk: air quality. The station's life support system constantly monitors for dangerous gas levels. Farts also carry sulfur compounds, which, apart from smelling awful, can irritate eyes and throats if they concentrate. So, while it's funny to joke about, NASA takes air management very seriously. If the filters failed and the air got stinky or hazardous, it wouldn't just be unpleasant, it could be a real threat to the mission. 5. The social side. Farts, teamwork, and space etiquette. Now let's talk about the human side. Living in space means you're stuck with your crewmates 24/7 for months at a time. Privacy is minimal, and every sound, smell, or movement is shared. How do astronauts handle this? With humor, mostly. Crews develop their own in-jokes and rituals around bodily functions. Some stations even maintain a secret fart log, where astronauts record the most epic episodes anonymously, of course. But there's also respect. Space agencies design astronaut diets to minimize gas-avoiding foods like beans and onions before missions. Astronauts are also trained to be considerate, using ventilation fans, or moving to less crowded areas whenever possible. It's a delicate balance, respecting your crewmates while also recognizing that, hey, we're all human. 6. The science of space digestion. How microgravity changes everything. Here's something you probably never thought about. Does microgravity change the way we digest food and fart? On Earth, gravity helps move food and gas through our intestines. In space, the process slows down. Some astronauts report feeling more bloated or having trouble passing gas. The sensation of holding it in is different. Gas doesn't rise or fall, it just kind of floats. Space agencies have studied this carefully. Too much trapped gas can cause discomfort or even pain, which could distract astronauts during critical tasks. As a result, space food is specially formulated, low in fiber, low in gas-producing ingredients, and easy to digest. Some astronauts even take probiotics to keep things running smoothly. And yes, there are medical protocols for severe bloating or digestive problems, because when you read millions of dollars and hundreds of miles from home, you can't just call in sick. 7. Farting in a spacesuit. The ultimate nightmare, so. What happens if you need to fart while wearing a spacesuit? This is where things get tense. A spacesuit is essentially a tiny, pressurized spacecraft. It's airtight. When you fart inside, the gas has nowhere to go. It lingers in the suit, right there with you, circulating with every breath you take. To make matters worse, spacesuits are equipped with a life support backpack that filters carbon dioxide, but ISNT specifically designed for breaking down fart odors. Astronauts have described moments when a little cloud of their own making suddenly wafts up inside the helmet, truly a taste of one's own medicine. In the early days of spacewalking, some astronauts even worried about gas causing pressure issues in the suit. Today's suits are better equipped, but it's still an uncomfortable reality. 8. Cultural differences. Farting across nations in space. You might not realize it, but farting etiquette varies by culture and it shows up in space too. American astronauts tend to laugh it off and make jokes. Russian cosmonauts are usually more reserved, quietly moving away or pretending not to notice. Japanese astronauts, known for politeness, might even apologize in advance if they sense trouble brewing. Chinese astronauts value privacy, often going to great lengths to avoid detection. These little differences provide insight into how deeply culture shapes our reactions even in space. They also help crews bond, turning awkward moments into shared laughs and memories. 9. The unseen engineering. How space stations manage odors. You might be wondering, with all these human smells, why doesn't the ISS stink like a locker room? Thank the engineers. The station's atmosphere is carefully managed by cutting-edge filtration systems. These devices use activated carbon, chemical scrubbers, and special fans to capture and break down odors, including those from farts, sweat, and food. Still, every astronaut says the ISS has its own unique smell, a mix of metal, antiseptic, and yes, people. After months aboard, you get used to it. In fact, when astronauts return to Earth, many say the first thing they notice is how fresh our air smells. 10. The unexpected upsides. Humor, bonding, and mental health. Life in space is demanding and stressful. Small moments of humor, like a well-timed joke about farting, can make a big difference. Over awkward moments helps build trust and break down barriers. It reminds everyone that, no matter how advanced the technology or how lofty the mission, they're still human. Some crews even create fart awards, or keep a running tally of the most creative contributions. It's all part of surviving and thriving, in a world where privacy is a luxury and teamwork is everything. 11. Future space travel. Fart management for space tourists. Here's a twist. As space tourism grows, managing human odors will become even more important. Imagine a luxury space hotel with dozens of guests. Companies are already developing advanced air systems and even anti-odor underwear for future travelers. There's talk of suits with built-in scent filters and spaceships with more private quarters. After all, nothing ruins a romantic view of Earth quite like someone else's fart cloud. 12 myth busting. Can you light a fart in space? Let's settle a classic myth. Can you light a fart in space? Short answer, no. Fire needs oxygen, and space is a vacuum. Even inside the ISS, the air is carefully controlled, and open flames are strictly forbidden. So while you can make quite an impression with your emissions, don't expect any fireworks. 13. The final take. Why farts matter in space, so why does any of this matter? Because even the most basic human experiences become extraordinary in space. Farting in orbit is about more than just biology. It's about engineering, safety, teamwork, the sheer weirdness of life beyond Earth. It's a reminder that no matter how far we travel, we bring our humanity with us all of it. It's often the smallest, silliest questions that reveal the most fascinating truths. Conclusion. So next time you look up at the night sky, remember, up there among the stars, a group of astronauts might be floating in a shared bubble of recycled air, laughing about the very same things we do down here. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the weird side of space life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Drop your own cosmic questions in the comments. Maybe we'll tackle how do astronauts deal with bad hair days next time. Thanks for watching Unbelievable Universe. Till next time, keep looking up and remember, in space, nothing is too weird to wonder about.